Hello, hello, and welcome, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to your timeless shadow reading. I am your reader, Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short. Not bad, it's just spelled like that. Hey, I was born that way. I am a professional witch, professional intuitive, the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of 2 books with a 3rd one on the way. The first one is called Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch. The second one, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version of Words of Grace and a link in the description box that you can click to preview the first chunk of it for free, including the table of contents, and you'll see that the book is divided pretty much into chakra chapters. There are chakras in this read. It's lovely. I love that book. And the Kindle version, it's clean, it's pristine, but it's not the original version, which is over on my digital store on patreon.com/drawing the circle, as well as the only place where you can find my first book, Words of Grace Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch. We got audio content on there you can check out and preview and purchase if you like, whether you're a subscriber or not, and some of my subscribers get those books and the audios and the videos as part of their benefit package. But all of my subscribers get 3 benefits in common, and I'm thrilled to give it to them. Benefit number 1, I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream like pretty much every single morning. And we chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with prayer or blessing, something to send us on our way, wisest way for me to start my day, considering what I do for a living. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s, and all of my extended readings, all of those. They're timeless, they're relationship based, there's an awful lot of them, and I love that they get to go through the archives and find what they need. They also get benefit number 3, an extensive discount on private sessions with me, spiritual counseling and readings and Zoom in person and all of that. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. If you'd like more info, you can follow us for free, putting out more and more public content just for our free followers, as well as you can check us out for a 7-day free trial as a seeker or a human. $3 and $5 for a week, and bail, last day if you want. But if you want the discount, you got to stay for at least the 8th day, right? And we can work that out. I love it. The store is amazing. We're on Spotify because of Patreon. Best thing I ever did. So if you feel so interested, curious, click the link in the description box and come Patreon on Patreon. At least look at the menu, because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons. Just call me Mal, which I know means evil in different languages, but I was born that way. It's on my birth certificate. So, welcome. I'm in my new studio here at Saratoga Springs. I survived the move, and that's all I needed to do was frickin' survive it, in the Temple Studio Temple, the magic room, whatever we want to call it, and very happy to get down to business. So we're going to do some explanation for the new Geminis and Crosswatchers, as well as if you've been following me for a while, because these readings used to be called the 8-card draw, what do I need, shadow reads, from the full to new moon, the waning moon, the releasing, the letting go, the spiritual alchemy, and all of that. Well, with my new schedule, doing readings in town at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs and hanging out with my parents and helping them, there's just a lot going on. So my guides were like, make them timeless. And I did the same with the 5-card draw, beautiful, beautiful waxing moon reads. Those are timeless as well, and just finished those up. So in this case, a 7-card draw. They're going to change from reading to reading, as well as the decks are going to change, not entirely. 8 cards, 1 card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about absolutely anything. But we are looking at the shadow work, the releasing, the letting go, the spiritual alchemy, the rough stuff. Shadow work is really important on planet Earth right now, because as one of us does even a little bit of shadow work, everybody heals. That's quantum unity. There's math involved. Please don't make me do math. So we're going to start with the Daughters, wrong deck. The Caroline Myss archetype cards. That's Carolyn Myss, M-Y-S-S. She's a PhD. Her work, Sacred Contracts, has been immensely helpful to me. This will represent the archetypal pattern that you are alchemizing from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, shifting from illusion to truth. I prefer the language of alchemy in terms of lead to gold. 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table that cannot be created or destroyed. Only released, transformed, transmuted, forgiven, surrendered, whatever you want to call that. So this one is key, our first card down, because it sends down the codes, right? 8th chakra is over your head, sending the codes down to all the other chakras underneath it, shifting what you attract and what you repel without you even knowing it, unless you're aware of what's going on to an extent, right? So that you have the opportunity to no longer delay the shadow work that cannot be prevented. I mean, you'll keep reincarnating until it's done. So I'm like, let's get out of here the healthiest way possible, right? So we'll use Daughters of the Moon Tarot for our second card down. It's going to be Heart, Throat, Third Eye Crown, Goddess deck, Goddess energy, Feminine energy, the world behind your eyes, Heart, Throat, Third Eye Crown. For the lower 3 chakras, we will be using the Mythic Tarot by Julia Charman Burke, the deck that taught me court cards. So very, very long ago, lower 3 chakras from the outside looking in at yourself, or I should say, you from the outside, inside looking out at people, places, and things in the physical world in which you have relationships, including your relationship to yourself in the world, self-esteem and all that jazz. Those 3 will be consistent throughout the entire series, as well as this one will be. The Whispers of Lord Ganesh will get one of these to help remove obstacles. Lord Ganesh is the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. Angela Hartfield, wonderful oracle. I pull one for myself rather often just to say, what, right? Helpful. And these next 2 are the ones that I was guided to use. We're going to use the Archangel Fire Oracle by Alexander Wenman, Findhorn Press. Just Google Findhorn in Scotland. Blow your mind. Really, really. I've never been in this life, but I would love to go. To talk to the archangels, because everyone has access to archangelic consciousness, particularly when it comes to the hard stuff like shadow work. Unfortunately, we have to feel it to heal it on its way out, right? Love it as it goes. Easier said than done. Now, this is the deck that I was unsure about, but for the Aries read, it was the same. The Blessed Be by Lucy Cavendish. Very powerful prayers and blessings in this, and this one has been rededicated to the ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism, so that was really on the nose for Aries. Let's see how this one goes. And we will, of course, this one probably won't change for the rest of the series. It may change its position in this, but the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck to give you a mantra to help you through the shadow work. I've done all the mantras. I've had this deck since it came out in 2018, so I know them, but, you know, we've got 4 bookie books, I call bookie book reads here, to read you what the authors have said, because they put a lot of work into these. I don't work with decks that I don't love, and I don't work with decks that don't work for me, right? I only share what works for me, because that I can have some confidence in. So I guess that's about it for the explanation. Let's get into the divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I promise I will help anybody in any way that I have the power to do to help them to alchemize their shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, shifting from illusion to truth, from separation to unity. Pick, however you want to see that, because as one of us does it, all of us does it, little by little by little by little by little. All right, the shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point. It's a breath work thing. It's a spell work thing. Catch it if you can. Please take a nice deep breath. God, I love what I do. And I get to wear Oleg Cassini vintage micro suede blazers in sweatpants. I love what I do. Here we go. With some enthusiasm, shall we? Still point. Pantheonic override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved pantheons of the divine, what's the dominant archetypal schemata in the 8th chakra for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross-watchers, indicating the alchemy from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, shifting from fear to love. In this timeless shadow read, ooh, the Addict. Now look, stop right where you are. Don't click off the video. Everybody's got addictions. Never met anybody who didn't. Just saying. My personal experience, you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Since everybody has their addictions, if you don't have it for a season or your lifetime, it comes in for reasons. The reason is a human invention. You could also be dealing with somebody who has the addict archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So I'm going to read you the shadow attribute, that's the lead. I'm going to read you the gold attribute, the light attribute, that's the gold. And you can kind of feel out whether this is you on some level, mirroring, or you're dealing with someone else. The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty, allows addictive patterns to have authority over your inner spirit. Well, I still have some. Right? I still have my addictions. I'm not stupid. According to Ken Keyes, the Handbook to Higher Consciousness, an addiction is just a preference that, if not fulfilled, causes suffering. It's a good book. Really, seriously, check it out. The light, the gold you're shooting for here as the result of the shadow work helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. I just did it on camera. I recognize it, I confront it, and I'm doing my best. In other words, just trying to heal all your addictions all at once. Like, there's no rehab program that really does that, right? Because we always think of drugs and alcohol, right? Substances. But you can be addicted to an emotional state. You can be addicted to relationships. That's a very vague sort of description of codependence, but that's still a form of addiction, right? I have members in my family that are addicted to being right. And when they're proven wrong, they go through withdrawal. That's why I'm like, I know that I don't know. I'm willing to be shown. So it's a good start to the read in a way, because the alchemy is so freeing, right? To shift even your addictions into preferences. Just that thought is a good, little snowball at the top of the hill that can really gain some momentum and healing. So, next, for chakras down, heart, throat, third eye, crown. Now, the throat is one of the two addiction centers, right? Choices. It's the deadly sin of gluttony, which is kind of fun and during the holidays. I don't know. The other one is in the second chakra, and we'll talk about that when the next card hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Gotta keep choosing it over and over and over again. Still point. Goddess override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. But all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all, with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved goddesses, what does the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign and crosswatcher watching this video, drawn to this reading, need to be aware of? Internal heart, throat, third eye, crown, alchemize the addict in the eighth, and this time let's read the moon. Major arcana card in a chakra read like this, where it's only one card for one zone, usually indicates all of the chakras in that zone. In this case, heart, throat, third eye, crown, working in unison. Now the moon, such a powerful card of intuition. However, for air signs, cloudy with a chance of mystic meatballs. There is probably something of a higher healing going on here for you and whoever or whatever you are dealing with here. So what do you do when you don't know the answer? When the mind is clouded? Go into the heart, right? Allow yourself to feel what you got to feel here, because underneath all addictions is pain, and all pain comes from lead in the system, and a lot of it was written into the script before we ever drew breath into this life. Ancestral pain, right? And that's where all the violence comes from, and that's where all the atrocities come from, is unhealed pain in the shadow, right? So I don't think there's any way to get through this other than to feel it and love it. It doesn't mean, oh, this is great, this pain is so wonderful. No. But to allow that bit of you, that pattern, that whatever. Because if you're an empath on top of it, it's not just yours, right? We're healing this for everybody, clearing the quantum field of this stuff through essentially love, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, but within ourselves first. So there is guidance there, I would say, in terms of creative intuition, which is heart, third eye, crown all together. That form of internal intuition can give you really creative ways of doing this, inspired ways, but ones that might not make so much intellectual, reasonable sense, because reason is a human invention. The divine does not truck in reason. it trucks in purpose, which sometimes we see later down the road. Location, location, location. So, what's going on inside out? Looking at you, right? You're looking at yourself you from the outside looking at yourself, like looking in a mirror. Maybe you from the outside in looking at yourself, inside out looking at other people, places, and things. Relationships in the physical world, including things that might be addictive, or people, right? And particularly your solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your boundaries, your honor code. But second chakra is the other addictive chakra. And it is like an umbilical cord to another thing. That's why drugs, alcohol, food, money, and we're all addicted to money because it's really hard to live without it, but I think you know what I'm getting at. Let's ask the gods what they think. Please take a nice, or what they know. Please take a nice deep breath. Keep that humility going, kid. Still point. God's override. Place for everything, everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it. Come here. So let it be done. Oh, beloved gods, what is the Gemini and the Geminis and their cross-watchers need to know? Lower three chakras, yang dynamic, masculine dynamic, outside out, inside out, outside in, relationships in the physical world to alchemize, do the shadow work for the addict in the 8th, moon on the inner. Page of Swords on the outer, messages, thoughts coming in from the physical world, coming to or issuing forth as you like. Certainly a swirl of information. And what does a Gemini like more than a Page of Swords, right? New data coming in, again, could be gossip, could be stalking, whatever, internet, what's this, shenanigans going down as you hear so often on YouTube. But this is an opportunity for you to kind of, as the Page of Swords, right, be in the process, right? Research, look it up, listen, talk to people, go to a meeting. There's so many 12-step meetings. Unfortunately, they don't have one for divinatory cards and silver jewelry. Let's hope they don't. So, this is an interesting thing. It's definitely a healing thing. And what I like about this is because the moon is water element on the inside. This is air. Air makes up water, right? It's got the H with the 2 O. Ow, I did math, kind of, sort of, not really. It's chemistry. Chemistry, it should be pronounced, in my opinion. So, let's ask Lord Ganesh, and he's a good time god. He really is. He's like, hey, everybody's got addictions. At least you ain't got junk in your trunk. Or maybe you do. It's an elephant joke. Please take a nice deep breath. This feels good, though, I gotta say. Still point. Ganesh override. A place for everything and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all, with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. Beloved Lord Ganesh, what is your wise, loving, empowered oracle message to assist the Geminis and their cross-watchers to alchemize the addict in the 8th, Yamaya, the moon on the inner, Page of Swords on the outer, not just for them, but to heal addiction for everyone bit by bit on planet Earth in this timeless shadow read. Generosity. Now, money, you do you, but generosity can also just be about plain old kindness, right? And yes, start within. Be generous with yourself, your time, taking space for yourself, resting, breathing, learning. But also this could be a card of communication, right? Page of Swords, both coming and going. So, card number 10. Let's just read a little bit of this if it's not a long one. No, it's relatively short. So, compassion for others is a natural result of being aware and conscious of your own feelings. So if you're not conscious of your own feelings, which is kind of what the moon might be saying there, because they don't make sense, right? They don't intellectually click so much with the third eye. You might be chewing on this in the throat. So to be compassionate with yourself first, absolutely. When you are generous in spirit, you take complete responsibility for your life. Now, don't confuse that with blame. right? Because that's what responsibility. It's your fault. You're responsible. You're to blame. No, it's what we came into this world to experience. It's like a video game, right? It is your ability to respond, your choices that make the difference. Work with Ganesh to assist you in stepping up to do the right thing. This is especially important when you are filled with fear and conflicting feelings, which addictive patterns, like we said, come from that pain. And who was ever given a gold star for not knowing the answer? But what if you don't know the answer and you're not supposed to know the answer until you do? That's grace. That's generosity. Respect others and live a conscious life. Champion others, support them, and actively want them to succeed. Now, I could totally see that in this reading. Someone being this for someone who is struggling with addictions, but remember, everybody is. You can be addicted to spiritual practice too, and that's a hard one to catch. Been there, done that, have the ripped t-shirt. Living from this space will create an open heart and mind that will touch anyone who comes into your presence. Be tolerant of ideas and behaviors that may not align with your own thoughts, because you're Geminis. That'll change quickly anyway. Spend more time looking at what is good and positive in someone else rather than what you judge as negative or bad. So now, if it's the cross-watcher who's dealing with, you can see how it could be played both ways. It's a general read for you. Embrace others' differences. Give freely and from your heart. Choose to no longer manipulate, and do not do favors with strings attached. Tricky. It's not what we're raised with. As you continue to give, you may find that you no longer envy others. Deadly sin of the third eye air sign is envy. You will be able to give easily and at the same time receive when the same is offered to you, right? Oh no, I couldn't. But the more generous you are, the more receptive you are to allowing others their moment of feeling the beauty of generosity and compassion. Totally makes sense. This will go a long way to eliminating the feeling of you being separated from others, and you may find yourself genuinely happy. Now, if you're feeling alone, which is different than feeling lonely, in my opinion, they are connected, obviously. Most people turn to addictions to numb the pain or to fit in, right? To pass, right? To kind of pass by, no, I'm one of the cool kids. No, I really am. Look and assume the best in people and treat others with respect and acceptance. I love that, but that's got to start within. So I could see how this could be, a Gemini dealing with someone with an addiction thinking, who the hell isn't? Again, I'm going to keep saying that. Or a cross-watcher watching this for a Gemini going, oh my God. So to let them have their process, regardless of who you are in this, to be generous. And to remember that at the core of them is the divine, just like you. And there's only one of us incarnate, so kind of changes the golden rule a little bit. Right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because there's only one of us here. Yeah. Let's move on. Archangel, Fire Oracle. Everyone has access to archangels. Your guardian angel is really your higher self. It belongs to a club called an archangel. Then the archangels gang up and form the thrones, the powers, the dominions, the principalities, all the way back to source. So all you got to do is call upon them, because they're real polite. They don't come unless they're invited in, and I do recommend doing it politely, or screaming at the top of your lungs when you are in pain. Either way, you invite them and they show up. Please take a nice deep breath. Can I tell you, my name's Markangela Lyons. I'm the Archangel of Lions. I've looked it up. Still point. Archangelic override. A place for everything and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. Beloved pantheon of archangels, which one of you is waiting in the wings with your billions of wings and millions of eyes to zoom in and help with your loving, wise, powerful oracle message? The Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and their cross-watchers, alchemizing the Addict in the 8th, the Moon on the inner, Page of Swords on the outer, removing obstacles with generosity. In this timeless shadow read, ooh, Salathiel. I believe this is the Tibetan Buddhist version of the Archangel, Selathiel. Cool. Card number 29. What I love about the Archangel Fire Oracle is they don't put the keywords on the cards, right? So you gotta look it up, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. I I highly recommend this book. Remember, if you can, Findhorn, Scotland. Look it up. Mind-blowing. Devotion is the keyword. Devotion. Now, that can be spiritual devotion, devotion to this person, devotion to a process of healing. Salathiel is the angel of contemplation and devotion. His name means prayer of God. And he is known as the intercessor, so one who intercedes. Where did you go? I lost my place. Teeny tiny writing. He is known as the intercessor. Illustrated in this oracle card as a peace-loving Tibetan monk, this archangel is a special guardian to those who have been ordained or who are qualified as spiritual teachers. Dealing with people with addictions, I bet. This gentle being comes to teach us about the importance of prayer. Salathiel shows us how to see every aspect of our lives as sacred and worthy of devotion. Even the most mundane, everyday activities can be enhanced as a form of devotion or a sacred ritual. So this makes sense, right? With this Page of Swords. Now people think, I'll pray for you, but do you? Do you though? I don't say I'm going to pray for someone unless like I light a candle and sit down and actually do it for at least 2 minutes, but I spend a lot of my time in prayer. It's just my favorite art form, I guess, right? So prayer is coming and going here, and giving of prayer, generosity for an air sign, it's sort of a thing, but there's a devotion to it, right? It's not just a once and done. Oh, in our Mark Angela Lyons Mal for short private Facebook group, we have a chat that's just for prayers and healing, and you pray for one person on it, you pray for everybody on it. So, you know, here's your message. Your whole existence is sacred, including your addictions. I know, it's hard to see now, but it's written in. It's not your fault, it's written in. Let your heart lead you. Devotion comes in many different shapes and forms. Even walking barefoot on the grass can be a form of prayer. It's a little cold for me right now. Doing this at the end of November 2023. But I love that, right? That devotion that you can feel for someone, like if it is a family member, or if it's just a devotion to doing this work, right? Freeing yourself and, you know, the ancestral patternings we inherited, the societal conditioning we've been exposed to from addictive patternings, I think is just going to help everybody. What about people who are addicted to power? Because all addictions are about power. In some way, shape, or form. I do go on. The tricky one. I say the tricky one because, first of all, it's a Celtic deck, right? And not everybody who's watching this has probably Celtic genetic DNA or, you know, interest in that. I certainly do. All of that, and a side of bangers and mash. Although I think I did that with an Irish accent, and I think, whatever. Lucy Cavendish, the prayers in here are very powerful. So, since this one is now dedicated to the ancestors, I would think any ancestral patterns of addiction might be addressed in this in some way, shape, or form. Please take a nice deep breath. The hidden blessing, the gold within the lead. This will be good. One more time, please take a nice deep breath. Ancestral override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. But all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. Beloved ancestors. Ooh, I'm starting to talk with an accent. Beloved ancestors, please. What is the hidden gold within the lead? The hidden blessing in all of this for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and their cross watchers, if they just do their best to alchemize the Addict in the 8th, Yemaya, the Moon on the inner, Page of Swords on the outer, removing obstacles with generosity, and working with the help of Archangel Salathiel for devotion in this timeless shadow read. A blessing for good work. This is sounding like somebody who does this professionally more and more and more, particularly with devotion, right? And you don't necessarily have to be an addiction counselor to deal with addicts in a spiritual, healthy way, right? To serve, what if it is a family member and you don't have the PhD, EIEIO, right? To do all of that. Well, you've got the ancestors backing you up with a blessing for good work. So I'm going to read this, obviously. And it's not overtly long, so feel this one if you like. And I do these prayers for real because I love to pray. Please take a nice deep breath. I'm devoted. Here we go. A blessing for good work. A blessing to bring you work that offers you opportunity to grow the soul, to create and be fulfilled with those who will allow you to develop the talents that lie within you. Each of us longs for work that allows our soul to expand and meet the potential of each day, but we often fall short, feeling our work is mundane and purposeless. That was mentioned in Salathiel as well, right? The purposelessness of it. It seems mundane, but it's an opportunity for devotion. Yet we touch people with our words, energy, and actions each day, changing lives with the beacon of our smiles and encouragement, even amidst the most ordinary of places. Let there be good work for you, and knowing that even if your work seems ordinary, nothing is without its blessing. May your soul's luminous radiance light up all opportunities to do good work and to find satisfaction in the small beauties of each day. May your work, however humble it may seem to be, find its purpose to heal and help and to expand the abilities you have been so very blessed to receive. May your work reward you with enough in your pockets and skills born anew into your world, which you can teach others and share and bring to your own life, enriching the personal with what you do through your working day. May every act of work become a kind of act of devotion, shining on the beauty of your own blessed soul, showing to you the infinite variety of ways we can bring blessings to others. This is amazing. May you find the truth of the sacred within your work and be blessed with the knowledge that Spirit works through you, for you bring blessings of light, of comfort, of healing, and renewal to all who encounter you throughout the working day. Know it is blessed to find dissatisfaction too, and that this discontent can drive you forth into the arms of the next place that has need of your skills and presence. May your work bring to you blessings and never leave you tired beyond what you can do. May those who receive the work you do be uplifted and never fail to offer you their thanks and gratitude, so you know that all has come full circle. May you be mindful in your work, available and present for those who seek your help, and may this focus refresh and reawaken you to your value each day. May each day begin with anticipation for the unknown work you will do, and may it end with the satisfaction of knowing that you brought your gifts to the day and changed it for the better, thanks to the work of your own two hands. Blessed be. It's like jigsaw puzzle pieces, but the big, like, Diplo chunky ones. They're easy to click together. I love reads like this. Yeah, that's why I do the prayer before I hit the record button. Last card down, the Macon healing mantra. So look, just give it your best, right? Work the mantra as you can. I always say mantras, affirmations, and all that stuff are usually easier for air signs. Thank God I got Venus in Libra. Very creative that way. So, let's ask the Ascended Masters what they got to say. Please take a nice deep breath. Last card down. Still point. Ascended Master override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. Oh boy. Put all where it belongs in time and space. for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra to help the Geminis and their cross watchers alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, shifting from toxicity to health, from fear to love, from illusion to truth, to alchemize the addict in the 8th with the moon on the inner, page of swords on the outer, removing obstacles with generosity, calling in Salathiel's help for their devotion to be refined and amplified in this hidden blessing of good work with purpose, right? With healing, with service to all, for this timeless shadow read. Awakening inspired action. There is only what life is asking of me. That makes sense, because sometimes we don't know what to do. Right? Sometimes, I don't know. I mean, it's like all this water going on. I would look at your moon sign, definitely, in your chart. At least look at what your moon sign is doing at the time that you're dealing with this. So, in other words, to awaken something means it's dormant or it's sleeping. So the inspired action is in there, just not in your consciousness yet. So the mantra, and I've gotten this one a bunch of times, there's only what life is asking of me, right? So, ooh, it's cold in here. Life is asking me to turn up the heat. Like, you can start simple like that. But let's do the bookie book, because this one is incredibly freeing. Because that thing of not knowing what to do, no one ever got a gold star for not knowing what to do, right? Or not knowing the answer. So this is a real way of healing this for me. There's only what life is asking of me. Duh. When you awaken inspired action, you are an open, willing participant in your soul's journey, which takes devotion. By the way, you are ready, willing, and able to face any feeling or make any necessary change just for the chance to serve the cosmic plan of the universe. So here, let's reframe this. This isn't about you just serving one person, right? Or healing your addictions, or, whatever work you're doing in the world. You are serving something that is ineffable. We can't wrap our minds around it. If we did, our heads would explode, right? Yes, life isn't fair, life is perfect, but from such a higher place that we can't grok it. We can't wrap our minds around it, right? When inspired action has been awakened, you radiate the higher frequencies of light for the well-being of all. That is the point of alchemy. Shadow to light, lead to gold, blah, blah, blah. This mantra is ideal for overcoming self-sabotage, addiction in any way, shape, or form, resolving boredom, which can absolutely move someone into an addictive pattern, and increasing fulfillment, which would release the need for an addictive pattern, right? So there we go. So look, whether this is you or somebody else, I think is a moot point. Just work this for yourself, even just the mantra, right? With a little devotion, with some generosity in prayer, and the good work is just going to happen as a result of you being willing and doing it step by step. Let's put this together in a blessamation. It's a combination of a blessing and a summation, and then we'll talk about cool stuff if you want to hang out for it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. We end as we began. Pantheonic override. A place for everything and everything in its place. But all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. I call upon the beloved pantheons of the divine, on behalf of the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and their cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need to alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, toxicity, fear to love, with the addict archetype in their 8th chakra, attracting and repelling addicts, or their own personal process, helping them recognize and confront addictive behavior, because they may not have an idea, a thought pattern in play here. It might be very emotional on the inside, and definitely a mystical card there, Yemaya, an intuitive card. So their creativity here is certainly included, particularly with the Page of Swords, messages coming and going. In the physical world, not just conversations, like new information coming in, new information going out. He is, after all, holding the Ace of Swords, and removing those obstacles with generosity of spirit, generosity of compassion, starting with themselves and moving it outwards, calling upon Salathiel to help them refine and expand their devotion in all sorts of ways, shapes, and forms, up close, in person, at a distance, through prayer, through literal service, even in the most mundane things, which hides within this lead the gold of a blessing for good work, good shadow work, good work in the world, good work in life in general, so that they can awaken inspired action, because there's only what life is asking of them, and it's not their fault. And it is their responsibility to respond with love, though we will all react with fear first, and therein lies the shadow work. We're not bad. The script is just written that way. And may we awaken from the script with the help of the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross watchers, to shift to a more golden timeline for happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser lives, in happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser ways, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So would it be. And so it is. There you go. It's a shadow read. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. Will help other Geminis and cross watchers find it. Hit the notification bell and subscribe if you want more of me here, because I'm not stopping. This is a lot of fun for me, considering they are shadow reads. I love what I do. Like I said, I'm wearing Oleg Essene and sweatpants, so it's a good gig. A human resources said it was fine. The Ascended Masters, they're like, fine, no one can see it, don't worry. And certainly, if you want a deeper dive, come Patreon. On Patreon, seriously, just look at the menu, right? You gotta subscribe. You can follow for free if you want. You can shop in the store for, as anybody can shop in the store without being a subscriber. But remember, my patrons get the daily check-ins, which I love. They're one of my favorite things on planet Earth. Talk about getting ready in the morning. They get all the extended readings. We'll get back to doing those once my schedule settles down a little bit, right? All the extended readings, part 2s to the part 1s, as well as they get an extensive discount on private sessions, spiritual counseling, and readings with me in person here at the house, or I'll still make a house call once I get to know you. Over on Zoom, we record it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I love it, and really the opportunities that Patreon keeps giving us just keep on growing. So between the store, free followers, you can even check us out for a 7-day free trial as a seeker or a human, and you're more than welcome to do that. Bolt the last day, but if you want the discount, you gotta stay for at least a month, right? And I'll be glad to extend the discount to anybody who does that. So click the link, check it out, come Patreon on Patreon. I am the Archangel Alliance, Markangel Alliance, but you can still just call me Mal. And if you want to book me for one of them, their private sessions with or without Patreonic intervention, there is a video in the description box, a YouTube video called Booking Private Sessions with Mal. Explains everything you need to know, but we're afraid to ask. Clarissa, she's in there somehow answering it all for you, right? Whether it's a spiritual counseling or reading, what I call a half and half, which is both. Half hour of power, I'm driving to you, you're driving to me. We do it by Zoom, right? I take pictures of the cards and send them to you. If we Zoom record it, I send you the recording so you can download it. You tell me you download it, and then I delete it. So you're the only one who has it. I'm big on confidentiality. But the most important thing I say in that there video up there is that I've never turned anybody away because of lack of finances. Where there's a witch, there's a way. We can work it out. We can work it out. And life is very short. And there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends. So if I can help, I am glad to, because I love what I do, and I do what I love. And talking about a blessing on good work, right? So you got this, right? It's going to take work. It's going to take time. Unfortunately, though, this really says that you may not be able to rely on your third eye, your genius, beautiful mind as much as you usually do, but by awakening inspired action, right? Opening that heart, devoting with generosity, this is healable. And it can be delayed, but it can't be prevented. So imagine you in service in this way, helping all addictions on planet Earth heal little by little by little, or who knows, sometimes one tiny little change changes everything for the better. So hang in there. I believe in you. I know it's a rough read, but they are shadow reads. That's why go watch the 5-card draws. The spell kit readings are a bit more upbeat. Otherwise, wishing all the very, very best and the very, very blessed. I believe in you. You can do this. Hang in there. Heal. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.